You ever wonder, should I buy this game or should I rent this game? Well, aka Barney Fife is here to help you make a decision either way. Is it worth 65? Hello. This is your boy South, aka Barney Fife. Welcome to my YouTube channel On Blast, where being on blast isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it certainly isn't a good thing. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about Fight Night Round 4. This is episode 2. If you haven't seen episode 1, take a look at episode 1. If you haven't seen the teaser trailer will let you know what the purpose of this mini series is for reviews. Because bottom line is there's not many, it doesn't come out every year, and we got to get down to it. You need more than 7 minutes to break down a game to see whether or not the developers have promised what they were going to promise in the in between development cycle. So what we want to do is to get down to it. First off business, I got a big show here for you, and I got a little bit of time. So first of all, I want to tell you my first feelings. When I first popped the game in, I rented it, PS3 version. I couldn't stand this game, and I was irritated for several reasons, and you'll understand these several reasons that all add up over the series. I'm not going to say them all right now, but one of my reasons was our first topic was the face buttons versus the thumbstick. Now, I don't know if you already know this by now, but they don't allow you. They took that feature out. This was a feature that has been in Fight Night since I can remember, that you could use the face buttons to throw hooks, jabs, etc., etc. Now they're forcing you to use a thumbstick because they decided, some schmuck in EA decided that you have to use the thumbstick. And I understand that some people are complaining about button mashing, but at the same time, somebody in the forums made a very good point that you can also be a thumbstick masher. So what's the point? Mashing is mashing, you know what I mean? So they took that out. I'm still kind of irritated, but I'm getting used to the thumbstick now. I'm definitely better than I am before because I've been playing it more. But it's just the fact that somebody took away my steering wheel of the car. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of irritating. The AI is a little different. They said that now the AI will adapt to your fighting style and counter you and all that stuff. But I think the AI is a little cheap at times, but definitely a nice little challenge, so you won't get bored playing the CPU. The rounds go by a lot. You can actually take the CPU actually will take you to the later rounds, where in Fight Night Round 3 I felt like it was going to I was 2, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, maybe 6 at the very most, in a schedule for 12. So I know that they definitely improved the AI when I see that now I'm getting into the later rounds. And I want you to try to figure out who I'm using, because the AI, I think, did a pretty good job of I think it's pretty good. It's doing pretty good. I'm not gonna really complain about the AI, although I do think the AI charges you a lot. It doesn't dance as much as I would expect, especially with certain boxers. And getting to that with boxer styles, I use players like Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Muhammad Ali, Tyson, Lennox Lewis, because those are players and boxers that I know what their styles were like, and so I'm trying to compare what I know, my own perception of these boxers, to what EA's perception of these boxers are. And and I think they did a good job with most of these boxers, but where I think they fall off entirely with all of the boxers is I think they make a lot of these boxers that were quicker boxers sluggish. I think like Muhammad Ali is the perfect speed, I would think, and I would think Ray Leonard would be somewhere close to Muhammad Ali's foot speed. So they definitely, I think the foot speed is not as good. Like, for instance, if you notice, Sugar Ray Leonard looks like he's in the squatting the whole time, and Sugar Ray Leonard was, he was a dancer, and his stance is all wrong, and his foot movement feels sluggish. So hand speed is good, head, body movement is great. So whatever. Hearns, they could have made a little more pop with Hearns, but whatever. Tyson, they nailed Tyson. You can see they spent a lot of time with Tyson. So you can actually see which boxers they researched. Lennox Lewis, real quick, one of my favorite boxers, heavyweight boxers. You know, he primarily lives and dies by the jab, and they don't really translate that well in this game. But but all in all, can you have a good time with him? Of course you can, but it just feels kind of lacking. They also promise an inside-outside game. Well, the outside game is kind of contingent on the foot speed. So if there's really no foot speed, I would say the outside game is not where it could be. But the inside game that they did promise is also not where it could be as well. You thought I was going to say it is. No. And the reason why it isn't good is because when you're clinching, whenever you guys get to clinch, I don't know if that already happened right now in the video, but when they clinch, you can't throw punches while they're clinching, and which is a key component to inside game. When you're all clinched up, when the boxers are all clinched up and they throw them little uppercuts and right hooks before the referee breaks it up, those take tolls on you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's inside game. So I definitely think on the inside outside game they kind of gave us, half of what we probably needed, what they promised. So with that, they added pushing, which is kind of cool. Some boxers may, out of frustration, may push and start boxing and stuff like that. So, which is cool. But they also removed taunting, and players like Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, showboaters, they would taunt you. So I don't know why they would take that out, but they did. So again, the foot movement really is lacking. That's kind of one of my beefs. And again, you can't punch and clinching, so whatever. There's no refs in the ring. I don't know if the ring's too small or whatever the case may be, or the boxers are too big, but they could have threw a ref in there. So that's kind of something else that I was thinking about myself. But look how they did that, the little advertisement for 1943. Come on, that's so cheesy. But anyway, I think that again, going back into this, just my final thoughts before we wrap this up. I would say that as far as in the gameplay, I mean, it's good, and it's definitely something that you would enjoy playing, and if people play the way they're supposed to play. But if you go up against somebody online that's just, that they're a masher, and it's, then you're gonna get into brawling, and it's not gonna seem real. It's gonna seem arcadish, and that's the thing about EA is I don't think they ever really make a true sim game. They can put together a sim-like game and an arcade-like game, because they try to dance that line, and casual gamers, they try to appeal to casual gamers as well as hard, and you can't really do that. I think since this is the only game, I think you do have to cater to simulation boxing, because they made face breakers for those clowns that just want to just punch buttons and button mash. So anyway, that's just kind of my last thought. I just wish that they would have made the gameplay more of a simulation for me to completely be completely happy with this game right now so far, as far as in gameplay. So that's one of the things. Last thing I want to talk about is scoring. Okay, and there's no suspense. There's no suspense after you win a game. You automatically know. There's always that little waiting period before you know who's gonna win or whatever. But then that's not there anymore. But anyway, the judges' scoring card, all the judges pick the same number. So, like for instance, round 4, the Tyson got 9s. One of those judges could have been like 8. No, I thought he was an 8. I thought Muhammad Ali was taking him out for an 8. But anyway, just it's stuff like that kind of takes away from the simulation part, because then they make it kind of cookie cutter. That looks cookie cutter to me. But anyway, it's your boy Sal, episode 3. Come peep it soon, and we'll talk to you next time. Remember to watch the videos, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to stay tuned.